Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second GA of the semester. I'm once again your speaker for the evening. And let's start off with attendance. Secretary
Okay.
Brown.
Oh, thank you. President Agarwal.
Present and voting.
Vice President Hale.
Present and voting.
Vice President Shaw.
Present and voting.
Vice President Cummins.
Present and voting.
Vice President Cruz.
Present and voting.
Vice President Dooner.
Present and voting.
Parliamentarian McKee.
Present.
Treasurer Churong.
Present.
Treasurer Schloff. Representative DeBaz. Representative Williams.
Present and voting.
Representative Gallo.
President voting.
Representative Smith Devon.
Present and voting.
Representative Iliarov. Representative Malloy.
Present and voting.
Representative Paul.
Present and voting.
Representative Moeller.
Proxy.
Representative Arumagasamy.
Present and voting.
Representative Sabe.
Present and voting.
Representative Fitch.
Present and voting.
Representative Smith Theo.
Present and voting.
Representative Zhu Albert.
Present and voting.
Representative Heck.
Present and voting.
Representative Wu.
Present and voting.
Representative Thompson.
Present and voting.
Representative McHenry.
Present and voting.
Representative Ladelfa.
Present and voting.
Representative Lindell.
Present.
Representative Competti. Representative Lee. And do we have any guests with us tonight? If you could, please stand and say your name.
All candidates are also guests for this evening, so please, if you could say your name and also the position you're running for this evening so that we can check off that you're here, that'd be great. Thank you.
I'm Sage Schaff. I'm here for the exhibit.
Megan Thomas, I'm running for College of Engineering.
Anthony Redempsic. I'm running for speaker for the assembly.
I'm Taylor Gray, and I'm running for College of Arts and Science rep.
I'm Patrick Vaughn. I'm the diversity.
I'm Mary Mundell, I'm a Teach for America representative.
Welcome, everyone. At this time, will we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have our Teach for America representative give us an announcement.
Make my way around there, sorry. I apologize for being late, I'm coming from a rehearsal. Thank you. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Erin Wendell, and I'm a senior undergraduate here at Case Western. Thank you, Divya, and the rest of USG for allowing me to come and speak with you today. I'm the campus campaign coordinator for Teach for America, and I'd like to speak with you for a few minutes about our mission and how you can join us in the fight to end educational inequity. America is supposed to be the land of opportunity. However, in today's world, where a child is born often determines his or her educational and life prospects. Consider Beechwood High School. In 2009, according to reportcard.ohio.gov, 97.1% of students graduated. However, only 20 minutes away from this Ohio-ranked excellent high school, East High School was in a state of academic emergency and graduated only 41.8% of its students, less than half. Sadly, disparities like this one occur across the United States. However, Teach for America is a national organization working to end the disparities and close the achievement gap. We do so by recruiting top college graduates to commit to teaching for 2 years in one of our nation's lowest income communities. Our core members, as we call our teachers, teach grades K through 12 in one of 43 rural and urban regions across the United States, from the Bay Area to Baltimore. Teach for America is an excellent post-graduation opportunity for strong leaders because core members receive full salary and benefits of traditional teachers, because they are also fully trained and certified. In addition, Corps members receive 2 AmeriCorps awards, and they are eligible for loan forbearance, which is an added perk when you consider the cost of a case education. You may be concerned that you aren't an education major. However, only 6% of Corps members majored in education in undergrad. Teach for America seeks a diverse pool of applicants from across all majors. So whether you're biology or business, you can apply. Our alumni, over 20,000 strong, continue on to top graduate schools in programs like law, medicine, engineering, public policy, and more, as well as careers with top companies like Google and Deloitte. I first learned about Teach for America from my good friend and former roommate, Kelly Herrick, who is now in her 2nd year teaching high school chemistry in Memphis, Tennessee. I had the opportunity to visit Kelly this summer and attend her high school's graduation ceremony. I sat with 3 TFA teachers who whispered about the students as they crossed the stage. Things like, he's the first person in his family to graduate high school. I paid his college application fee. And she came into my class with a D-, but worked hard and pulled it up to a B+. And I was overwhelmed by the potential these Corps members had to change lives. Business Week was right in naming Teach for America one of the nation's top 10 best places to launch a career. Because after teaching for 2 years and changing the future of a generation of children, Corps members walk away with advanced communication, problem solving, and leadership skills that can be applied across all professional sectors. I've only given you a brief overview of Teach for America, but there is so much more to learn. I encourage you to log on to our website, www.teachforamerica.org, and learn more what you can do to help us end educational inequity. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at egw6@case.edu. Again, my name is Erin Wendell. If you type it in, it'll come up. I'd love to speak with you further about Teach for America. Our next deadline is Friday, February 16th, and we will have an information session the night before on Thursday, September 15th. The room is TBD, but there will be signs up. And there are 3 following deadlines. So if you can't make the deadline, the application deadline, Friday the 16th, you'll have another chance. I'd like to leave you with the words of Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. We may not live in a country where every child receives an excellent education. However, we know that one day all children will receive the opportunities they deserve, but only with your help. Thank you. If you could please fill out those contact cards, just so I know who I have spoken to, it helps me keep track. And then, Divya, if you wouldn't mind collecting those, can I just pick them up from you at a later point?
No, not a problem.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, Erin. I hope you all consider applying for that opportunity. It's a very admirable service. One of our former USG members, Gary Bagat, devoted USG member, is currently a Teach for America teacher in Memphis. So thanks again, Erin. Okay, so now we'll get right into committee reports. Okay. So we had a great weekend. You can read about it there. And I think all that I want to say in my report is just to let you guys know that committee meetings for all VPs should have started by now. And so that means you all should be attending your committee meetings as they are part of, counted as for attendance. So just be aware of that. If you're not sure about your committee meeting time, I'm sure each VP will go over it in their reports. Other than that, I'm open to points. Go ahead, Representative Gomez. Yes, September 17th and 18th at Camp Asbury. Any other points? Okay. Vice President Hale, you're up.
I'll stay here since there's not too much to say considering we just had our first meeting today. But we hit on a lot of good points. The next meeting will be next Tuesday, immediately preceding GA, room TBD, but probably the USG office, assuming no one else is there. But you'll get an email to the GA list about the room once it's decided. Open to points.
Okay, thank you. Vice President Shah.
Good evening, GA.
So most of what I wanted to say is already in the agenda, but in addition, we are holding 2 more President Treasurer workshops. They're on Wednesday and on Friday at 5:30. Also, today we had a debit card meeting, which is USG is trying to use a debit card for student groups. If you have any questions about that, you can just send me an email or meet me during my office hours. Any points?
Any points for the speaker? Okay, thank you. Academic Affairs, Vice President Cummins.
Two things I wanted to point out right off the bat, sort of academic related. Co-op orientations are starting soon, or have started. There's one September 8th at 11:30 and September 9th at 12:30. Those are both in Nord, I think 400. This Thursday, something that has been pushed very hard for through the Academic Affairs Committee is finally being opened. The Study Abroad Fair is 1 to 4 in Tomlinson. President Snyder is speaking at 3:30. It's celebrating the brand new opening of the International Affairs Department. And so there's a director, and so that'll be really exciting. What else was I going to point out? Oh yeah, the first FISCU meeting was today. A couple of new things they're going to work on this year. It's been brought to people's attention that it's been relatively difficult to transfer into case, considering we have, a pretty stringent policy in regards to like SAGES, that sort of thing. So, coming in your second year, you have to take 2 extra classes, that sort of thing. And we're looking to maybe create a better path, some sort of equivalency sort of thing to make it a lot easier and to encourage people to transfer to case. So, open to points.
Vice President Cruz.
What was the date for the Study Abroad Fair?
Study Abroad Fair is this Thursday, 1 to 4 in Tomlinson. And at 3:30 is the speech by President Snyder. So that'll be pretty cool. And so, Study Abroad Fair is basically just a big thing, come, find out about the different things. I'm sure the MSAS, winter break sort of thing, the spring break thing, and also just your usual junior year abroad sort of thing. So if you want any sort of information on that sort of thing, I would definitely check it out. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Vice President Cruz?
All right. I don't have a whole lot either, so I'm not going to go up there. For tentative scheduling purposes, I'm planning on having office hours from 3:15 to 4:15 on Mondays, and Wednesdays from 12 to 1. And then also, I'm hoping to have a meeting tomorrow night at 8 p.m. in the office. I know it's kind of last minute, so if you can't come, it's all right. But just try and be there. We'll talk things over. And that'll probably change depending on people's schedules after retreat. But just so we get a meeting in, we're going to try and do this one tomorrow. Open to points?
Okay, thank you. Vice President Dooner.
Hello, not a lot to report. My first committee meeting is a week from yesterday. Will be a week from yesterday. The information Andrew kindly copied into the agenda. So next week we'll be here with some legislation regarding Blackboard and probably the iClicker thing too. I still need to finish finalizing that. A couple of things to note. There is an ITSPAC meeting, which stands for Information Technology Services Planning Action Committee, tomorrow morning. All of the key IT people will be there, and I'm planning on going tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. There's an open invitation for anyone that wants to join. Talk to me after GA, and we can meet up there or something. And also, if anyone, can I get a quick show of hands? Who has tried and failed to connect to Case Wireless? Okay, okay. just wondering if that has gotten any better in the last week. Okay, I'm meeting people for that, so. All right, open to points, Ellen?
Follow up to the Nord Lab computers.
Oh, the Nord Lab, yeah. So ITS doesn't really manage those, so I'm gonna have to meet new people, but I'll send emails. Scott? Oh.
Have you worked out a definitive place and time yet to meet with the Blackboard people?
No.
Representative Thompson?
Just going back to the case, or the computer lab, anecdotally, at least, I'm in there pretty much every day, and there's always somebody in there fixing the other, like, the computers, so. But there did seem to be a lot more today for some reason, so.
Representative Williams?
Was there ever a color printer in
I don't remember ever printing color. Was there? Is it the big? It's not one of the ones in the corner. It's maybe the copier. It's not an option.
Maybe it was just something.
Okay, I'll write that down. Okay. Cool.
Any more points for the
Any
speaker?
other points?
Thank you. Is there any report from our treasurers?
I'll share my tip of the week out loud. Post-it notes are a great way of reminding yourself to do things, as well as send friendly notes to your suite mates and roommates to let them know that you actually like living with them.
Thank you, Treasurer Schloff. Good advice. Parliamentarian McKee.
The parliamentarian tip of the week is that during discussions in General Assembly, all comments are supposed to be directed either to the Speaker or to the Assembly as a whole. You never actually address other representatives. So, just keep that in mind.
Thank you. And do we have an elections update from Commissioner Perlowski? Looks like we do. Awesome.
Okay, so we are currently in the midst of the campaign period for many of our first-year representatives. We do have representatives running from each house. The one position that has not yet received any letters of intent, which the commission has decided to extend, is the commuter representatives, which traditionally is a hard group to reach. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. So we currently have 21 candidates. 17 of those have signed their candidacy agreements, and the commission and I are going to discuss. We've kind of given a deadline of 9 p.m. tonight for those who did not show up to the meeting, have not responded to emails, or have not returned a candidacy agreement that I sent them electronically to respond. Else the commission's going to vote on what to do, whether we nullify their letters of intent and so they're no longer a candidate, or that we keep trying for another couple of days. But these students have been largely unresponsive, which is okay because we still have someone from every house, which personally feels like a huge accomplishment, and for the commission as well. And so other than that, campaigning will go until 7:59 a.m. on September 14th, as which the election period will start. But we'll have another update, I'm sure, before that happens.
Vice President Shaw? So are you no longer, correct me if I'm wrong, are you no longer taking people who want to run for a certain position?
No, so the letters of intent were due by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. The commission voted to extend that deadline till the next day at noon because we had a lack of candidates, at which point Vice President Agarwal sent out an email to the entire first-year class, and now we have a wealth of candidates. And so that noon deadline was kind of a hard deadline. So additional people who want to run, they can definitely become at-large representatives. We have had traditionally a strong emphasis, especially in committees. A lot of the at-large representatives who have more time to be a little bit more passionate in their committees. So we can definitely welcome people that way, but we are not accepting any additional letters of intent. So you can, other than for the commuter position. So that's kind of been the commission's decision on that, is that we do need to fill that commuter position. We'd like to fill it with this election. If not, it will become the responsibility of the assembly to fill it. And we know that sometimes, especially with a small group of people, that becomes extraordinarily challenging, which is why we voted to kind of keep it open until we at least have ample time. So we're going to vote tonight, really what the deadline for that is going to be. My guess is that any later than Friday, and it's kind of just grasping at straws. So then that will again become the responsibility of the assembly to fill if it goes vacant through this election period. Other questions?
Any points for the speaker? Commissioner Pulaski, I just want to thank you personally for all your work so far.
Well, and I'd like to thank everyone who's been showing up to help PR and everything, especially those of you who are not on the commission, because it's, you know, I understand the first 2 weeks of school are like this giant turmoil, but I really appreciate everyone's help in showing up, especially Representative Dooner, or Vice President Dooner. Everything that you see online, everything that kind of makes us look snazzy on the internet is all his doing, because I don't understand those things, and no one could do it better. So I really want to thank especially Tom for what he's been doing and being so quick on top of things. So it's like I get candidacy agreement back, and 2 hours later it's online. So yeah, any other questions?
Great, thank you. Allie, is Matthew Moss here from SEC? Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Moss from the SSC, and like I said, I'm here to update you guys on what we were planning on doing this semester. We have several projects planned and several events. First off, we have the Farm Harvest Festival, Saturday, October 1st. National Food Day is coming up. Our event is November 2nd. We have we're working on a campus sustainability survey to see what people are interested in, see what people know, and things like that. We're working on paper reduction in various forms. That project is yet to really come together, so I don't have more details on that, but I will in the future. We're doing some more outdoor appreciation projects, such as hiking and things like that for new students and returning students as well. We're also working on a CECL liaison because there's a Student Service Alliance being put together by CECL, and they would like an SSC representative. So besides that, we were trying to recruit new members, and that's pretty much it.
Any points for the speaker?
Do you have any information about the sustainability posters?
Which ones in particular?
I don't know, I just know there's a meeting on Friday.
Oh, right. One of our members, Alex Sadowski, is working on those posters, but she has yet to update us on them, I believe. So they're still in the works. We're trying we have a whole list of our, we have a new website up, ssc.kstate.edu. It's been completely redone, so we have a list of projects on there. So you'll probably find updates on that, but I don't think that project has made any advancements yet.
Vice President Cummins?
How did Recyclebania go last year?
It went well in that it was executed fairly well. We didn't perform as well as we did previous years, but we believe that's because we were more accurate in our reporting our waste and our recycling. So we're trying to work on that project earlier this year because it starts in the spring to be better prepared next semester. And we're also working on a building energy project, energy competition among the freshman buildings and the Southside buildings as well. So there'll be more developments on that when we get those projects rolling.
Treasurer Schloff?
Tagging on to Recyclemania, I know last year GA spoke of Leutner not doing a compost, whereas Fribley does. Has anything been done to change that, or news?
As far as I know, the composting program was initiated in Leutner because if you guys remember, they were collecting compost and putting it in bins inside, right before you return your plates to the kitchen. That was stopped because of various reasons. I think some people were worried about the sanitation issues as well. But that is being restarted again, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, because we have a new sustainability coordinator, Stephanie Corbett, and she's working on that project as well. So that should be coming in the near future.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, by any chance, are there any caucus reports? Okay. All right, then we'll move into old business. Are there any more nominations for Speaker of the Assembly? Would someone like to entertain a motion to close nominations? Yes, Commissioner Pulaski. currently we have nominated Shengbo Wang, Anthony Rodensik, and Scott McHenry. So we have two candidates, Anthony Rodensik and Scott McHenry. Representative Williams?
I move to close nominations.
We need a 2/3 vote from the Assembly to close nominations. So all in favor of closing nominations for Speaker of the Assembly, please raise your hand. All opposed? Abstain? Okay, nominations are closed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have all candidates running this evening leave the room. And what's going to happen also is I'm going to tell you all now that you will have a combined 2 minutes and 30 seconds at the podium to give a presentation to the Assembly and answer questions. And Parliamentarian McKee will be timing you, and you'll be able to see the timer up on the screen right there. So at this time, can all candidates please leave the room except for Anthony Rodensik? And Mr. Rodensik, will you please approach the podium? They don't need to be here for all the unless they decline. Hold on 1 second. Matt.
Okay. Don't be too tough on me, Matt.
Can we also have the sound during discussion, which will be at the end? We'll have the sound cut thing. Just want.
Hello, GA. I am so glad to be back here. I've missed this room. I've missed being in General Assembly. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anthony Rodensik. I'm a junior. I'm studying political science and history. I've been with USG since I was a freshman. I represented the commuters, that traditionally hard to get pool of candidates for elections. I am running to be the next speaker for a few reasons. First, I love USG. It's been a defining part of my case experience, without a doubt. I love the opportunity it gives us to get involved, and it's a great way for us to give back to the case community and improve it. Secondly, the role of speaker, it works really well for me. I'm not afraid to lead these meetings. I feel very comfortable with public speaking. I'm familiar with Robert's rules. The time commitment is perfect for me as well. I will be here every Tuesday, no problem. And the third reason that I would like to be speaker is representative development. Retreat is right around the corner. I can't wait for it. I love retreat every year. It's so much fun. I want to do my part to get USG started on a good note for this semester, just as much as you guys. Thinking back to how USG helped me develop as a person, the things that I would like to focus on for representative development are team building, communication skills, and knowledge about university administration. Otherwise, all the other information that I would like to communicate to you is in my letter of intent, and thank you very much.
Are there any questions for the speaker? Vice President Shah.
I'm not sure how like the discussion, but I know that when you are you have to kind of like hold back your own opinions and bring everyone else's forward. You'll be able to do that. Well, like how will you be able to manage yourself if there's something that really excites, a topic that you're talking about that really excites you?
I do not think that I will have a problem with bias at all. I really, like I say in my letter of intent, I have a great appreciation for fair, just, honest debate. Time.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
And if you could please ask Representative McHenry to come inside, that'd be great. Representative McHenry. Secretary Brown would like to remind us that if you could please use your microphones. when you speak, that'd be great. Thanks. Go ahead.
Thank you, President Agarwal. Greetings, fellow members of the General Assembly. For those who don't already know, my name is Scott McHenry. I am currently a representative for the Case School of Engineering, and I am seeking to become the Speaker of the Assembly. While I have relatively limited experience in USG so far, I believe that if given the opportunity, I'll be able to adapt to my role as Speaker and effectively preside over the General Assembly meetings. I pride myself primarily on my ability to study the practices, whatever role I am tossed into, and adapt to these practices. Since becoming a representative, I have studied the requirements for writing legislation and presenting that legislation to the Executive Committee. And because of that, the IT Committee is now working on 2 separate pieces of legislation, one for the iClickers and one for a potential Blackboard app. To conclude, if elected Speaker, I will do my best to adapt to the given situation and preside over the Assembly as effectively as I can. Thank you, and I'm open for points.
Any questions for the Speaker? Commissioner Pulaski?
What experience, as part of the speaker's role is representative development, what experience do you have leading a group of your peers to kind of lead them in a kind of developmental type way?
The biggest experience I have leading other people was in late September, early October 2008, I was selected to go to the National Youth Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. There we were part of different caucuses. It was a mock Congress, if you will. And I was selected as part of my caucus to be the lobbying coordinator, which is basically drumming up support for our particular piece of legislation we were to add to this piece of legislation that we were working on.
Vice President Shaw?
I asked the same question to the other candidate, but how will you be able to, do you think you'll be able to manage holding back your bias and bringing out opinions from other representatives?
I really don't have that much bias on, I have bias on very few issues that we have.
Representative Williams?
How well would you say your commander of Robert's rules is?
I am currently studying Robert's rules as best as I can. I will learn more as I move along.
Any other questions for the Speaker? Okay, perfect. Thank you. You can step outside the room, please. Great. And do we have sound cut this time? we need to vote. So all in favor of closing nominations for College of Arts and Sciences representative? All opposed? Abstain? All right, so can we please have Sarah McCormick address the assembly? And we can have sound back. Thanks. Okay, yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh.
Yes, no? Okay.
We're gonna set up a timer for you.
Okay, cool. Sounds like a plan. Okay, excellent. All right, for those who don't know me, I'm Sarah McCormick. I'm a junior psychology major. I'm also pretty terrible at impromptu speaking. So for those of you who've already read my letter of intent, you can like meditate for the next 2 minutes. And for everybody else, here we go. So my name is Sarah McCormick. I'm honored to have received a nomination for the position of College of Arts and Sciences representative. I admit that in my 2 previous years at Case Western, undergraduate student government only occasionally crossed my mind as a possibility. As a first-year student, I was unsure of my identity at the university and as a person, and so I hardly felt ready to campaign against my friends in Storrs House as a potential first-year representative. But in the semesters following, I grew into a different person, and I hope a better person. So I'm going to be a nerd for a second. Those who are familiar with Harry Potter will understand what I mean when I say that some people have leadership thrust upon them and find to their surprise that they wear it well. I feel this has been the case for me. I joined Greek life unexpectedly and found myself in an executive board position within a year. I applied to be an emerging leaders program mentor on a whim and found that I loved the mentoring role and craved further positions like it. I grew in leaps and bounds this summer as an orientation leader, discovering that I am capable of more than I had ever imagined as a nervous, introverted freshman who barely left her room for a semester. Even now, I'm applying to be part of the Relay for Life Planning Committee and a Center for Civic Engagement and Learning Scholar, as well as asking you to consider me as your fellow representative. As a representative, I hope that I would bring a fresh perspective to USG and that I would be able to truly give back to the community that has given me so much. I believe that I would serve as a responsible, driven, and clear-headed member of USG. CWRU has changed me for the better, and I ask that you give me the opportunity to do what I can, not as an individual, nor even as a student of the arts and sciences, but as a fellow Spartan. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the speaker? Treasurer Schloff.
It sounds like you have a lot of commitments. How are you going to be able to prioritize your time for USG? Do you have room in your schedule for a big organization like this?
That's an excellent question. I've found in the past year especially that my time management skills have increased exponentially. I admit that there are definitely other commitments that would not necessarily conflict, but would possibly interfere a little bit with USG. My hope is that I would be able to continue to balance things in the same way that I have, and I'm certainly going to prune things depending on my time commitments and figure out what my priorities are going to be. So hopefully USG would be one of them.
That is time.
Does anybody have a pressing question that they'd like to ask? I know the speaker was only had one question. Okay, thank you. Thanks. And if you could invite Ms. Kayla Gray.
While we are changing over, do all elected representatives and proxies have a ballot or a blank piece of paper to write on? Good. Whenever you vote, make sure you clearly write down the name of who you are voting for, as well as the position for which they are running. Thank you.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Kayla Gray, and I am a second year chemistry BS, theater minor, and Spanish minor. I just wanted to lay out a few main points about my platform. I'm very diverse in my activities on campus. I am a sister in Alpha Chi Omega, a brother in Alpha Chi Sigma, a brother in Phi Delta Epsilon, and I try and be involved with other activities as much as I can. With my activities, I am very well-rounded and I'm exposed to a lot of different types of students on campus, whether it's the engineers by being a BS major, or the theater kids by being a theater minor. It's very diverse. I am exposed to a lot of things. So I'll open the floor to any questions.
Vice President Shaw?
No, my major time commitments are Thursday nights, which are my 2 chapters for Phi Delta Epsilon and Alpha Chi Sigma, and they're only about 45 minutes each, and that's at max. I also have chapter on Sunday nights for Alpha Chi Omega, but with my class schedule, I only have classes from like 8:30 to 3 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Vice President Dooner?
Hey, so what's one thing that that excites you about USG, or that makes you, that's why you're here right now?
I just want to try and make a difference. In high school, I was president of my student council and National Honor Society, and pretty much anything I could get my hands on, because I came from a very urban community where there wasn't a lot to offer the kids around me. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, which is obvious in that sense. In my time in my presidencies, I was able to increase the GPA of both of my clubs by 0.25%, and I started 3 different organizations in my community. I started a pet adoption thing with our non-kill shelter. I started a Big Brothers, Big Sisters within my high school for different types of kids. And I also started a brown bag lunch opportunity thing for kids who were not able to have lunches at home. They always got to take more at lunchtime.
Commissioner,
Thank you, guys.
can we just have one more question? Commissioner Perlowski?
Maybe if you could just sum it up in like a 10-second, 1-point thing. In what way do you see yourself making a difference in USG?
I'm kind of outspoken, so regardless of what my opinion, whether it's accepted or not, I'll make sure that I can make it heard.
Okay, thank you.
If you could just make sure nobody else is here for the arts and science position.
And if we could have sound off for discussion. Thank you. Okay.
Where that if you simultaneously nominate people and they're not here and you close nominations, you have to again open nominations and nominate new people. So it's in the Assembly's best interest to nominate students who are present and able to, or present and representing for this specific election. And if we don't elect 5 people, you have to open nominations again for the remaining people. So if you nominate people right now, you'll have to nominate them again if they're not like ready to go.
Did you inform these students of that you were going to nominate them? Or? Yeah. Okay. Vice President Dooner?
So how many, there's 3 people here for this? Or
There are
how do we,
2 people here who have submitted letters of intent and who are ready to speak, to
Okay.
address the Assembly, and there are 5 open spaces.
so 5, okay.
5
I'm
vacancies.
just doing the math, like, how do they get like, do they need a majority of votes?
That's correct.
Of the
So
Assembly to be elected?
We won't be filling them automatically. You have to hear them and discuss, and it's up to you. We would need a majority of the Assembly that wants to elect these individuals into the positions. If they don't receive a majority, then they can't have the position, even if there are vacancies.
And we write either 0, 1, or 2 names on our ballot?
Correct.
Okay.
So, is there anybody that someone would like to nominate that is here, ready to go, can speak to the Assembly tonight? Okay. Is there a motion to close nominations? Okay, we need to vote to close nominations. All in favor? I know it's tedious, it's Robert's rules. Okay, all not in favor? Opposed? Okay, abstain? All right, can we please have Megan in the, address the Assembly? I don't have her last name. Thomas? Megan Thomas.
As a point of information while people are moving, when you move to end discussion, that signifies a vote, but if you call the previous question, so if you say the word call, it's if there's no dissent, no, but if you say move, vote on it. Just as a general informational piece.
Hello, my name is Megan Thomas. I'm currently a 3rd year studying biomedical engineering and chemistry. Some of my leadership opportunities here at CASE currently involve my involvement in Tau Beta Pi. I'm currently the book swap chair. So this means that I actually put on the book swap, put out the advertisements, coordinate everyone signing up, everything involved in that. Other time commitments also include varsity athletics, track in the spring. I've done cross country the past 2 years, but I'm not currently involved in that this semester. And also, as I mentioned, Tau Beta Pi, Alpha Eta Mu Beta, which is the Biomedical Engineers Honor Society, and Alpha Phi Omega, which is the service fraternity. I would really appreciate being involved in USG for multiple reasons, but mainly because I'd like to make an impact on campus. There are some disgruntlements I personally have with how certain things are run throughout our campus community, so I'd like to help push forward that change. I've also heard of other disgruntlements from other students as well that I'd like to change for them. So, thank you.
Any questions for the speaker? Vice President Hale?
It sounds like you have a lot going on. Can you just speak about how much time you'll be able to give up to USG?
For Tau Beta Pi, the book swap's only at the beginning and end of semester, so that's that. Alpha Eta Mu Beta, I haven't heard anything about that. And then Alpha Phi Omega, you have to put in 20 hours per semester, and I've already gotten 10. So it's just more of at will how much ever I want to do. So, and I said I'm not involved in cross country this semester, and I'm not sure if I'm doing track next semester. So currently my only real involvement will be Alpha Phi Omega APO.
Representative Zhu?
You mentioned disgruntlements. Can you just give us an example?
For the book swap, I'd have to call K Security in order to get the Nord 310 unlocked, or even locked up. And there were times where I was waiting for 45 to 60 minutes just for security to come. So I know it wasn't an emergency, but I'd call multiple times and be like, oh, I thought we had that handled. So things like that. So K Security. I was also talking to a few students about professors. So I feel like we do reviews at the end of the semester about some professors, and sometimes those aren't taken into account. So you have the same awful professor semester after semester after semester. Things like that.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you could please invite Tess to the podium. How's everybody doing? Still have energy? 1 hour in. Can do this. Sure. Yep. Whenever you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. All right, hi, my name is Tess Butcher. I am a sophomore, and I am studying aerospace and mechanical engineering, and I'm running for the position of K School of Engineering. I'm not gonna talk forever because I totally want you guys to answer questions, but if you want to know all my leadership stuff, that's in my letter of intent. I just want to tell you guys that I am super excited to be here. I absolutely love Case Western, so it's like leadership. USG is like the perfect opportunity for me to get involved with the campus, get involved with student life, and that's like exactly what I want to do. So, questions?
Any questions for the speaker? Vice President Dooner.
What kind of things do you see yourself envision yourself doing as part of USG?
Personally, I would just love to have a voice in the community. As an engineering representative, it'd be really awesome if we could find a way to make kind of engineers of different types mingle with each other, whether it's through mixers or like a weekly newsletter, because I feel a lot of freshmen come in, or undecided engineering majors come in kind of not knowing about all the variety of engineering, and so it'd be nice if they could be united. Yes, sorry.
Representative McHenry.
Do you feel that you'll be able to effectively manage USG with your academics and all of your other time commitments?
Yes, I'm only really in chess club. That's the only big time commitment I have. But other than that, I'm free. I will dedicate anything. This will go top priority on my list of things to do. So I'll be there, promise.
Vice President Shah. Okay. Vice President Cruz.
Did you run for a position in this past spring, or were you still considering it?
I was considering it.
Vice President Hale.
As part, if you are elected, as part of your responsibilities, you serve on your caucus and then a committee. What things do you have to offer to either the committee or the caucus?
I was thinking I would do PR because I'm super enthusiastic about CASE, and I just want people to share my enthusiasm about this campus because I absolutely love it. So, yeah.
Any more questions for the speaker? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you just step outside, that'd be great. or any nominations at all for the nursing, School of Nursing. No one submitted a letter of intent, I believe, correct? So any more nominations? Okay, so I think we'll leave those open for another week. So, Vice President Cruz? Sure, please.
Can I nominate Ellen Sunderland?
Awesome. Any more nominations? Okay, we'll leave that open another week. Are there any more nominations for the Weatherhead School of Management? And are they present here tonight? Okay, is there a motion to close? Okay, we need to vote to close nominations. So, all in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, so if you can invite the candidate. I don't believe we have a letter of intent for her, but I guess she was a write-in candidate for the position. We're happy to have her. And there are 2 vacancies for this position.
Hello everyone. My name is Jaja Liu, and also can call me Janice. I'm running for the representative of Weatherhead School. The reason why I want to run for this, actually I'm a transfer student from Taiwan, and then I was in the USG in Taiwan before, so I was looking forward to see like the USG here and being really passionate about running for this representative position. Also, I heard lots of people talking about like they are not having connection between like school and also the students here, and also because I'm a international student, so I'm kind of like knowing that some of the international students they cannot like really know much about the school, so I really want to like looking forward to be in this position and hope like everyone can give me this chance. Thank you.
Any questions for the speaker? Representative Thompson?
Are you familiar, or has anybody explained, I guess, the time commitment necessary for USG?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like I'm not really like in other organization now, so like most of my time is spending on like here in school, I guess. Yeah.
Vice President Shah?
Yeah. Like, I used to be in the news department, so we kind of having like brochure and then like letting other people to know more about like us, and we have like website talking about like everyday news, like school and campus news, and also like news from outside world, and also some like columns that talk about like interesting stuff that student might like to like delicious food or like best place to visit, something like that. Yeah.
Any other questions with the speaker? Representative Lindell?
Okay, you said that you had some ideas for changing Weatherhead. Since you've been here, have you seen anything that you specifically wanted to change?
I think the connection that I was talking about, like because at first I've been here and then I saw that like I asked lots of people about like whether they know about USG, and then some people like they didn't know about anything else. So that's the thing that I would like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you could just step out of the room for a couple of minutes. Vice President Cruz.
Move to introduce Bill B 21-01.
Is there a speaker in the pro?
Okay, so this is just recognition for 3 new groups that are coming in.
Oh, Representative Thompson.
I think I already know what it is, but could you explain what Crew Capital does?
Okay, so this is an organization that they want to be able to monitor stocks, and they haven't gotten, they're asking for a loan of $5,000. We will get it back at the end of the year, but we haven't approved a loan or anything yet. All they want to do is be able to research, manage stocks, and get the experience for their students.
So the premise of the organization is it's a group of students that would like to study investments. And they have a whole education kind of aspect to it where they will kind of teach students how to manage stocks. And their intention in the long term is to work with a portfolio. That loan, what Jason was talking about, that's completely pending. There has been no decision made on that. They have to bring that separately to the Finance Committee to discuss that with them, and the Finance Committee will decide if they want to get approval. But the idea of this organization is a group of students, Weatherhead students, that would like to learn about investing, and it's open to everyone. It's not open just to Weatherhead students, it's open to anybody. So that's that. Any points for the speaker? Representative Malloy?
So the president mentioned that this would be a group that would be interested in learning more about the stock market. Would that be through personal experience, or will it be some sort of faculty mentor for the organization, or how does that work?
Yes, there will be their advisor, and they'll have several mentors that are coming in helping them through the process.
Representative Paul?
Sorry, just a quick question. So, say we do approve them, so that doesn't mean that they do get, say, the $5,000 that they want.
No, it's only recognizing their organization. It's not approving any monetary amounts.
Any other points? Oh. Representative Malloy?
So let's say we do approve recognizing them, but then don't approve this money that we're proposing giving them. So where will their funding come from to do this whole money management thing if they have no money?
So the way that they've explained it to us is they're trying to get money from alumni and other organizations that will support their cause, but we have to support them first. Other organizations won't necessarily invest in it if we don't. So I guess they would keep, if we don't give them the loan, they'll keep, looking for other investors.
Representative Thompson?
Save the discussion.
Representative Williams?
This is just kind of a clarifying question for, one of the things I know in the Finance Committee that we had to do, you have to be very careful to separate the loan part of it and the actual organization itself. And so don't let this fact of whatever the loan is keep you from Oregon, because their main purpose as a group is sort of more about capital investments. That's what they said.
Well put.
Vice President Hale, did you have a point? Vice President Cruz?
I was just going to clarify a little bit. Basically, what they were telling us when they came and presented was that in order to get other groups, such as some of the banks downtown and such, to invest in their project, they were asking us for a small loan to get them started, to give them a track record. Because without some kind of record of their successes, other groups are unwilling to invest. So their goal was to ask us for money, ask COC, RHA for money, and then pay it back at the end of the year after they have other investors, such as banks, giving them money for their project.
Representative Gallo? you have a question for the speaker, or is it something for discussion? A question? Okay, please.
I was just going to point out that this is just to recognize them, not to approve any funds. So
Exactly.
call it a previous question.
Well, we have to discuss first. but-
Discussion.
Vice President Hale?
Move to table Bill B 21-01. What? Oh.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We have to just first go through
Never
speaker
mind.
and then discussion. Representative Paul?
What is the crew travel club supposed to do?
So they basically wanted to form a group because they wanted to meet other students, potential travel partners for the future. They're not planning on using any money to travel. It's just to find people who love traveling as an activity.
Any more points for the speaker? Representative Malloy.
So one last question about the capital organization. So let's say they are successful in their investments and they do make a lot of money, or any money at all. What will happen with that money, outside of using it to make more money? Like what will they do with the profits?
It'll just, they're not using the money as profit or anything.
It'll be reinvested.
Yeah.
Right, but so let's say the organization ceases to exist for some reason, what would happen with all that money?
This wasn't related to the loan, though. This was related. This is a discussion point that we can bring up again in discussion.
Yeah.
But if there are any more information questions for the speaker, otherwise I will call if there are for any speakers in the con. Okay. There are none. Then we'll have a 3-minute discussion on the bill. This bill has to be tabled anyway, but we are allowed to have discussion. Representative Thompson.
All right, so here's my, crew capital, I see no problem with approving the group, but I would say that, in any future endeavors, they should not, there's a whole host of issues that come with the loan, like interest rate, what's the collateral, so on and so forth. And there's really no reason if someone's just learning the stock market, or a group is learning the stock market, to use real money. There's plenty of sites out there that you can use paper money, and it operates exactly the same way. So if they want to get some money for food or whatever, it's fine. But
Vice President Shah.
So the reason that they explain that they don't use fake money or anything is because there are a lot of risks involved, and it was also a way to get more people to join, because there's actually physical money, and they can actually see how the stocks and investments go up and down.
Vice President Hale.
To elaborate on Lee Bishop's point, the reason that they don't want to use stock, whatever those paper money sites are, is because it allows people, there's no consequence for making risky trades. But just to when we met with them during a special exec, this money is not for them to go make millions with. This is so that they can PR and say that, yes, we do have money that we're investing now, but we'd like to go invest KeyBank's $1 million.
I'd like to make a point that if we could just simply discuss the recognition aspect, if this loan business, it will come back to General Assembly. So we'll mention it again later. But for now, let's just to expedite this process, we're just having discussion about recognition either on this group or the 2 other groups. Representative McHenry.
Move table Bill B 21-01.
Second.
Okay, so the bill is tabled until next week. So I do have some election results. Our new Speaker of the Assembly is Anthony Rodensick. Okay, our new Arts and Sciences representative is Miss Sarah McCormick. both of our engineering representative candidates were elected this evening. And Ms. Janice, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name, you were also elected. Oh, wow. Okay. So with that, I was told I need to make a motion to reopen the positions that we did not fill completely. So this, I need to make a motion. I need to have someone make a motion so that we can add this to our agenda next week. Vice President Shaw.
Motion to open nominations.
Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to open for before we do that. We need to elect 3 more engineering representatives. We need to elect 1 more nursing representative, and we need to elect 1 more weatherhead representative. So would someone like to make a motion? Yes.
So when you make a motion, you are moving to X, Y, Z.
That's correct. I ask the assembly to make a motion because I can't do it myself. So I ask you to, I entertain a motion, which means I ask somebody to move to do something. Move. Let's go through it completely. Representative Paul.
If Speaker Radenik, I'm sorry, I probably just butchered her name.
Radenik.
But is someone gonna? I don't know if he was a representative before, but is someone gonna take his open spot?
You weren't. Good point. So would someone like to move to open some nominations for next week? Vice President Hale. No, I asked the assembly for someone to do that.
I move to open nominations for the School of Engineering representative.
Second.
Okay, we've got 2 more schools. Vice President Cruz.
We didn't ever close nursing, did we?
No, so that's correct. That will stay on the agenda.
Okay, so I move to open nominations for Weatherhead School of Management representative.
Okay, thank you guys. So next week we'll have nominations open this entire week again, and hopefully we'll have some more letters of intent, and hopefully all positions will be filled. Here's hoping. With that, we will move into open forum. And I'd like to make a couple of points about open forum. If anything that you'd like to say is related to a leaky faucet or something that's broken, please utilize our feedback form. I discussed with Colleen that we'd like to use open forum as a place for discussion about student life issues or academic issues or any other issues. Any other issues. I'm a little bit biased, I'm sorry. Any issues. But if you have just a small point of concern that you could think you can type into the feedback form, please do that. And but first, before we start that, do we have any feedback reports from our form?
There's just a point to the VPs that I'll be bringing up with you guys later.
Okay. Representative Sabe. Granted. Representative Gallo.
So I'm just wondering, I don't know if this has ever been brought up before, but the nighttime routes for the greenies or blueies, as I call them, how come they're not the same as Circle Link stops? Because I know people that as many times as I tell them that they're not the same stops, they'll stand there, and then some bus drivers just drive right by. So I just don't know why they can't be the same, stops.
Representative Thompson?
As I understand it, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, CircleLink is paid for through University Circle Inc., and so everyone contributes to it. So it serves not only Case, but the rest of University Circle. The night routes, on the other hand, are Case, and so we fund it, and so it mainly serves Case. So that's why it's more Case focused. So the same route isn't applicable, essentially.
Commissioner Pulaski?
Okay, so I'm just curious as to how many of you are planning on attending graduate school that is not medical, dental, like a health profession, or law? Okay, so you're going to public health or chemistry or something that's not health or law. Where are some of the resources you turn to for advice as to how to proceed in your graduate school applications and your advisement? Okay, so you feel the same way I do. Okay. That's that might be what I...
Oh, Vice President Cummins.
Actually, Shengbo was talking about the FISCU meeting this morning, and it was like a quick discussion thing about what professors thought their role was in advising. And for the most part, they thought it was pretty much exclusive to major advice and which classes to take, that sort of thing. So unfortunately, you have to kind of get an advisor that wants to go above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Commissioner
Yeah,
Pulaski.
just as a note, I'm currently applying to graduate school, and I find that it is very confusing if you're not in that. And I've actually been anecdotally talking to Dean Hamill a lot about the need for undergraduate advising in terms of, you know, if you're not getting a job and you're not going to medical school or law school, what do you do? So hopefully we can brainstorm about whether it's the Career Center or undergraduate studies or who helps.
Any other points for open forum? Mr. Vaughn?
Now that the Calvin Smith Library is open for 24 hours, I've had a few students come up and ask me why the study rooms are, they're still reservable, but once it hits midnight, they close them. If there's any way that they can be opened, just open after midnight. I don't know how you would go about doing that. Just want to bring that up.
We have people we can ask. Representative Paul.
On that note, I think the main thing is that I don't think there's a library staff there after 12. It's just a security guard.
Correct.
I'm not entirely sure on that, but that's what I think. So I would assume that the security guard is probably not able to hand those keys out for those study rooms. I'm not very sure though.
Vice President Cruz.
All right, so I'm working on putting together the binders for retreat that have info about USG. I still have mine from last year, but I'm just wondering if anyone who's been on USG before or anyone who hasn't been on USG has anything that they direly need to know or that they're just completely confused about. Anything you can think of that you would want information on about USG. If you guys want to think for a minute, or if anyone has anything off the top of their head, or you're welcome to email me at any point. Let me know.
Okay, thank you. There are no more points. Oh, Colleen?
Well, I would add, if it wasn't in last year, I think the presidential cabinet, I think the presidential flow chart was updated this July. So I got a good copy of it for GSS for their retreat, and I think it would be helpful. So I can do that.
Okay. Representative Malloy?
Will this binder include like the official Robert's rules that we operate by?
Yes, I believe it.
Will not include all of them, but I'm working on a summary to put into there. So if you have anything specific that you want to know, let me know. Otherwise, there will be a general overview as well as a walkthrough of how GA sort of works again in there. So.
Well, but I'm sure there's some document or bylaws that we operate by. How do we access those?
Robert's rules is a book. Well, the
Every organization has its own versions.
bylaws should be up on the USG website. Yes, I'm getting the nod from our VPIT. So if you go to usg.case.edu and click on the General Assembly link, they will be right there. Or should be right there.
Vice President Hale?
I would be happy to loan you my 600-page copy of Robert's Rules.
Commissioner Pulaski? Okay. So everyone's got a nice handy-dandy copy of Robert's Rules. If there are no more points for open forum, Colleen, advisors report tonight?
Before the retreat, you won't hear a lot from me because I like talking to folks at retreat and finding out what kind of topics I'll discuss. Basically, my role at this point will be to give you a 5-minute tip on some leadership strategies or things that will help and equip you to be a better representative. So I'm always interested, just as Laura mentioned about the handbook, I'm very interested in things that might help you, whether it's relaxation or understanding your own ability to say no, being able to gauge your stress points, things like that. I would be interested in your topics. The exec helps a lot to brainstorm those for me, but I'd really be interested in hearing from you. So at this point, that's all I have for my report.
Okay, thank you, Colleen. Any announcements? Vice President Cummins?
I forgot to mention my training meeting this week will be at 6 p.m. At the main office, just so everyone can attend. Email me if you'd like to be on the active affairs list. Also, the 30th annual Studio-Rama for WRAW is Saturday. I ain't run pretty much all day. So.
Colleen?
I have with me a little handout. If anyone's interested in being an ELP mentor, the application is due this Friday, the 9th. So stop by and I'll give you a little reminder.
Representative Williams?
I know this is more than like 10 weeks away or so, but Twig Study Over is coming up, and and we're going to need people for the committee. So start to be thinking. We don't have a committee time set up yet, but we started to be thinking if you want to be on it. It's a great time, and we'd love to have you guys come.
Vice President Cruz?
What?
Vice President Cruz?
I was just gonna remind everybody about these blue sheets. I don't know. Just don't forget to do something with them if you filled them out. I can take them. I'll just
Right.
give them to
Oh,
Erin.
good point. The Teach for America contact sheets, if you can either give them to Laura or leave them at
Leave
your
them
table or
somewhere.
leave them at the end of the, back there, that'd be great, so we can collect them and hand them to Erin. Representative Smith? Sure.
You said the second half of your
Okay.
afterwards.
Yes, please. Just also address to
Like,
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to hear like who you said the contact about Twin Study Over.
Okay.
You.
Okay, and if we could actually also get that into the agenda, or excuse me, the minutes, any contact points for anybody. Commissioner Pulaski?
So as a reminder, encourage your commuter friends to email me to find out about USG. Also, Anchor Splash is coming up, so my other hat is the Delta Gamma hat. And if you have never seen your friends synchronize swim, it's the perfect place to do so. If USG would like to make a team, there's like a Filer website to sign up a team. Maybe your exec board could do an interpretive dance about legislation. It could be really awesome. So encourage your groups to sign up for Anchor Splash.
Colleen?
Just a reminder, two more real quick. Thursday is thanks to refreshments at the first ever Student Event Planning Expo, where students who plan events on this campus can come and meet some incredibly important partners who provide services. So if you know RAs, Greek presidents, Greek chapter recruiters, or RHA, one of these, all of these folks are invited. It's not just for the student works. So it's just a chance to interface and meet with some folks who normally just a phone call or an email. That's the first one. Second announcement, again, I believe thanks to USG co-sponsorship, there will be refreshments at the commemoration of the 10th anniversary of 9/11. And the Share the Vision Committee has been working since last April on this commemoration. And that one is the community hour on Friday. I think I believe everything's in the newspaper. It starts at 12:30, and there will be an actual ceremony. So you'll probably, if you can get there at 12:30, that would be lovely. And then the rain site is in between 8. It's a very simple commemoration, very hands-on. There'll be tables and things to do. And there's a big push this year, which I think is absolutely lovely, on service. So it's a way of commemorating those who lost their lives. Then on Sunday, on the actual anniversary, the Student Executive Council, under the project management of Chris Vinderwall and Colleen Hosler, are having a candlelight vigil. That starts at 9:30 at Calvin's Library. So hopefully you carve some time out to commemorate this incredibly important anniversary.
Vice President Shaw?
Just a question, did anyone get to go to the football game on Friday? And how was it?
Representative DeVos?
We had a great turnout. We had props and chants and 2 full buses going there, going back. And then a lot of people didn't even know about the buses, taking cars over just to go. And I hope we get even more people coming out to the first home game this Saturday against Rochester. It's gonna be awesome. We had spears in the crowd. I think there were a bunch of spears passed out. We were dressed up. It was crazy. So come on out. It's gonna be even more fun this week.
Representative McHenry?
To add to what Representative DeBoss said, it was very exciting. I don't think I've ever seen this many people, Case supporters, at a football game, away or home. So.
Treasurer Trong?
On that note, Case soccer is starting this week. I know the guys are playing their game right now. They start at 7:30 over in Village. And Case women's soccer is tomorrow at 7:30, I think.
Mr. Vaughn?
I just wanted to let everyone know that the first Diversity and Inclusion Committee meeting is next Monday at 6:30. Dr. Mobley is making an appearance there. If you would like to come, you can contact me, Patrick Vaughn. Thanks.
Speaker Rudensic. I don't know if I can call you that until we inaugurate you, but.
I would just like to thank you all for electing me tonight. I look forward to getting to know those of you that I don't recognize a lot better this coming semester. And for those of you that I do know and have been in USG for a long enough time, I do refuse to be Bruce Douglas, and I will not wear sweater vests and bow ties.
Vice President Cummins. No, we have there's dissent. Just go ahead.
All right, if anyone is interested in joining the crew team, we are having Boathouse Day on this Sunday from, I think, 2 to 6, or maybe it's 12 to 5, I don't remember. Email me, come see me after USG if you're interested. We're awesome.
Okay, I would like to make an announcement. I just want to congratulate all of our new representatives and welcome to USG. And if you were not elected tonight, I would hope that you would come as an at-large representative. You are still more than welcome to attend our meetings and serve as an at-large representative. I also want to thank the Assembly for tolerating me as a speaker these past 2 weeks. It's been a ride, but thank you again, and thanks. And if for all new reps, please visit Secretary Brown to get so we can get your contact information so we can add you to the GA email list. Representative McHenry?
Move to adjourn?
No dissent? Go home.